Hello everybody, Meesho is going to beat Amazon and other players like Flipkart, Myntra in the retail section. But how exactly? And why this Indian startup, which entered the Unicorn Club in April 2021 with $2.1 billion valuation, is going to change the shopping industry for Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities? And what lessons you and I can learn for our startup? So let's find out all these answers in today's episode. Firstly, let's understand what exact problem is Meesho solving and how big this problem is. Meesho is targeting a very generic problem of Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. In your surrounding, you must be knowing a few women who run small clothing businesses. They don't have very fancy shops, either a very low-end shop or they sell from their homes. But the product they sell and the customer they sell to is very important. These women usually sell unbranded clothes, suits and saris, and they usually sell in their close circle of friends and family, thus acting as a middleman between the manufacturer and the customer. Now, if so many women across our country are doing this, then what are the problems in this entire ecosystem? Now, to understand this, let's take an example of Kavita. Kavita runs a small business of selling clothes. Now, she must be having a vendor or supplier. This can be any known relative or friend who has a big wholesale business, maybe in some other part of the city. Now Kavita, based on the interest and price segment of her customer, places the order to her supplier either via phone call or WhatsApp. Once an order is placed, the supplier delivers the good, which involves shipping charges. Now to store these clothes, either Kavita will store them in some room of her house or will rent a small shop, leading to some inventory charges. Once Kavita has received all the items, she will either invite the customers to come and have a look, or via WhatsApp, she will circulate the pictures of this new inventory among her all potential customers. Now the customer can directly buy and pay either in cash or by digital mediums like Paytm, PhonePe. And since this transaction is trust-based, if the customer didn't like the cloth, they will ask for an exchange or refund. Now this loss will either be at Kavita's pocket or her vendor's pocket. And since Kavita is selling fashion products, variety in stock plays a very key role. Otherwise, the customer will buy from someone else who has better designs and latest trends. But since Kavita is operating with only one vendor or maybe two, the number of designs and variety she can get directly depends on her vendor. So this restriction is directly hurting her small business. Plus, she is restricted to sell in her neighborhood only. She cannot sell easily to her friends living in other cities or states. Now, if we look from the supplier's point of view, why isn't this supplier directly selling on Amazon or Flipkart where he can directly sell to lakhs of customers? The answer to this is psychological, as these suppliers or manufacturers are into the business of unbranded clothes which cost very cheap. And if he goes to Amazon, the sari for which he charges 300 rupees will directly be compared with some branded sari costing 3000 rupees, and thus it will be tough for him to sell. Now, if we look from the customer's point of view, why aren't they going on Amazon or Flipkart? Because they know they cannot afford a 3000 rupees sari. And even if they are able to find a sari which is worth 300 rupees, they won't feel comfortable buying it, as other products on Amazon will make them feel poor. But these customers will happily buy clothes from a trusted friend with whom they can directly talk and bargain. Trust plays a very key role. It's the same feeling you get when you like something in a branded showroom but you cannot afford it. And so for the products that fits in your budget, you will always know that there are superior clothes than this one. And now for Kavita, the problems in a nutshell are inventory charges, limited variety, complex return and exchange process, cannot sell to friends in other cities. So we have understood the entire selling process of Tier 2 cities and what all problems lie at each end. Meesho's founder identified all these problems, and they also found out that every woman in Tier 2 and Tier 3 is looking for ways to earn some money and thus some form of respect in the society. But this model still requires some cash capital to start. So let's see how Meesho is changing the game of such an unorganized sector. When Jio launched in 2016, a large population of these Tier 2 cities came online, and WhatsApp was one of the most used apps by them, followed by Facebook, YouTube and Instagram. Thus by default, these people got to learn how to use these apps. So now our friend Kavita already knows how to use WhatsApp, how to share pictures, and this knowledge was enough to use Meesho. Meesho onboarded thousands of suppliers who are selling low-cost unbranded products by their zero commission model, helping them earn 10 times more. Now, since Meesho has such a large inventory, it means Kavita will never face the problem of lack of variety. All Kavita has to do is open Meesho, enter her business name, let's say Kavita's Collection, select clothes from such a large collection and make her digital catalog. Once that is done, she can directly share all these images over WhatsApp groups or directly to contacts or WhatsApp stories, and same on Facebook or Instagram. Now her potential customer can select what they want to buy. Kavita will tell them the price and they can place the order either by paying directly to Kavita or by opting for cash on delivery. Now once the order is confirmed, Kavita will open the Meesho app, enter the address of the customer, and boom, Meesho will deliver the product directly to the customer. And the most important thing is the delivery box will have the branding of Kavita's Collection. Now this personal branding aspect is not possible on Amazon and Flipkart. Now, if the customer is not satisfied with the quality of clothes, he or she can tell Kavita for a refund or exchange, and Meesho will take care of it. Since Meesho is operating at such a large scale, it can bear these losses which our vendor was not able to. Now Kavita, who lives in Delhi, can also share dresses with her relatives or friends who lives in Jaipur and can directly deliver there with her own branding because of Meesho. Kavita also has the flexibility to charge as much as she wants. So if a sari is of 300 rupees on Meesho and delivery charges by Meesho are 70 rupees, anything earned above 370 rupees will directly go in Kavita's pocket. So as per the budget and buying power of the customer, Kavita can modify the selling price. This is how Meesho has changed the shopping game of tier 2 cities. But then how exactly does Meesho earn? Firstly, they charge a flat delivery fee, which Kavita will happily give as it's not affecting her profits. In fact, the platform is helping her. Secondly, as they have so many vendors onboarded, they charge for advertisement. Which vendor wants to come in the first page of that category? Now you won't be surprised to know that the meaning of the name Meesho is Meri Shop, Meri Dukaan. And 90% users on Meesho are women, out of which around 80% are from tier 2 and tier 3. Women who are aspirational entrepreneurs with very low financial income. Meesho also educates these women on how to use WhatsApp and Facebook more effectively to build your brand. But now the question arises, if Meesho is so dependent on WhatsApp, Facebook and other social media apps, then why won't WhatsApp become your competition in future? To this, the answer is pretty simple. WhatsApp or Facebook are not in the business of making inventory, handling vendors and onboarding sellers. This is one of the use case of their platform, but not the only use case. Instead, these platforms are focused on connecting everyone with everyone. Now this was the business model of Meesho till a few months back. But because of the very low price, many customers started using their platforms directly. And thus the company from the B2B model entered into the B2C model, but specifically for the tier 2 cities. Meesho has entered into the e-commerce industry and it has an edge when it comes to tier 2 cities and beyond, given its expertise in these markets. And by launching e-commerce, they will expand their user base from women to men as well. We may feel Amazon and Flipkart are the big fishes, but you won't believe they cover only 4% of India's retail market, which is worth $800 billion. And if Meesho is able to show the same growth in the B2C model as well, it will crush the Amazon in the tier 2 cities. Now the next big question arises, what key lessons can we learn from this journey of Meesho? Well, there are two key lessons that we can learn. Firstly, if you're a founder, think of building products for the tier 2 and tier 3 cities. See what apps and services you use today and try to understand what problem these companies will face as they will expand to tier 2 and beyond. Because the buying power, education level and purchase behavior of the customer will play a very key role in onboarding these new users from rural areas. So if you can find problem in the entire ecosystem like Meesho did, you can create the next unicorn. Secondly, it's important to understand your customer and pivot your business accordingly. As Meesho identified this new need, they went with the B2C model. Thus, pivots can be helpful as well as they can be harmful. So keep a very close eye on your customer. Well, that's all from my side. If you learned anything valuable, do press the like button and subscribe for more startup related case studies. I'll see you in the next video.